Welcome to my channel. This is JC Rock and Metal Reviews. My name is John. Today we'll be continuing my series of the top 10 albums of a specific year. So the year in question is 1979. I will be focusing on hard rock and heavy metal for this videos, and I will also be doing this a little differently. I'm going to be doing it like ranking style, so it will be a top 10 from like worst to best in my personal opinion. I'm going to choose 10 albums from 1979, and these are the ones that I consider that fall under the category of like hard rock or heavy metal. So there actually were a few albums that I like a lot, but I didn't include. So one of them was Kiss Dynasty. I really love that album, but that's kind of more of like a rock album with some like pop and disco influence. But that is probably one of my favorites of 1979. I also didn't include Into the Outdoor by Led Zeppelin, also another one of my favorites of the year, but I kind of felt it was more of like a blues rock album, so I didn't include that one. And there are some other honorable mentions that didn't make the list. So for example, Head Games by Foreigner, that would be an honorable mention. Down to Earth by Rainbow, that would be another one. Now there were a few more like straightforward rock albums, and I did pick the ones that I did think were either hard rock or metal, so let me just jump right into it. So at number 10, I have the self-titled debut album by Accept. So this one is their debut, has some of their longtime members like Udo Dirkschneider and Wolf Hoffman. The album has a very raw production value, but the songs are not too bad. They were finding their sound in this album. Maybe their other albums that would come out in the early 80s were better than this one, but has some good songs. Some of my favorites, the song Sea Winds, that's a power ballad. Has some melodically guitar work and a really nice melody. There's also some heavy stuff on the album, like Sounds of War. That has a really cool metal riff, kind of similar to something like Judas Priest. At number 9, I have Love Hunter by Whitesnake. So this one has a sound similar to like those Deep Purple albums with David Coverdale. An album like Burn. Heavy blues rock, so the album did have a minor hit in the UK with Long Way From Home. So that song is a cool melody and a kind of cool like bass guitar sound. Walking in the Shadow of the Blues, that one has more sound more reminiscent of like Deep Purple with those like rock keyboards and heavy guitars. And one of the heavier songs is Medicine Man, has really cool like guitar riff in the intro. At number 8, I have a Bomber by Motorhead. Now, there will be 2 Motorhead albums on this list. The other one will be ranked higher. The best song on this album is Stone Dead Forever. That one has that signature bass intro with some heavy guitars and those raspy vocals by Lemmy. And this album actually has some like slower songs. So a song like Lawman has a slower pace, still very heavy. Sweet Revenge, another kind of slow and heavy song with some of those like heavy plotting riffs. And the title track also very good. It has some heavy like blues rock in the intro and a very fast and energetic pace. At number 7 is the self-titled debut by Saxon. This is a good album. I kind of ranked it fairly high. I did my ranking of all the Saxon albums, and there are some good songs here. So we have Big Teaser, that one has chugging, a metal riff in the intro and an overall heavy sound. Judgment Day, this one has a great drum intro and some heavy riffing. Probably my favorite song, Stallions of the Highway, just has that classic heavy metal sound. Probably something they would do more in their like subsequent albums. At number 6, I have Mirrors by Blue Oyster Cult. A cool album. They're a pretty cool band from the 70s. The album opener, Dr. Music, that has some heavy chugging riffs. And it's also a pretty catchy song. Title track, Mirrors, that has some cool like lead guitar work in the intro, some heavy power chords. And the song also has like a catchy pop, lots of like catchy pop songs. I Am the Storm, it's a cool song with a heavy blues rock sound. And the album has a lot of different types of songs. There are a few ballads, but overall the album is very good. At number 5, I have Overkill by Motorhead. So the title track is one of their best songs. It is considered like one of the first like speed or thrash metal songs. The rest of the album is very good. Stay Clean, that's really cool, heavy, like garage rock type of song. Another one of my favorites is No Class. This one is a heavy, fast-paced metal song with a really great chorus. The album also has Damaged Case, that's just straightforward heavy metal with those chugging guitars and lots of melody. And this is probably like the heaviest album on this list. At number 4, I have Night in the Ruts by Aerosmith. And I'm actually surprised this one ranked so high for me because I listened to it again and I really enjoyed this album a lot. Now, when this band was making this album, they were going through a lot of internal troubles. You know, Joe Perry actually left the band halfway through recording the album. They were going through a lot of like drug abuse problems at the time, and they had so many problems just like recording this thing. But I think they did a decent job, considering the circumstances. So the album has "Remember Walking in the Sand." That's a cover song by the Shangri-Las. The song "Cheesecake," really cool song. It's lots of like those like sexual innuendos in the lyrics. And other songs have a lot of those like innuendos as well. So we have "Bone to Bone," "Coney Island," "Whitefish Boy." It's about like doing it with like a used condom. That's like what a Coney Island whitefish is supposed to be. And a few other covers. They have a blues song, "Reefer-Headed Woman," a Yardbird song, "Think About It." But I listened to this album. I thought it was like very good. Despite all the problems the band was going through at the time. So at number 3, I have Van Halen 2. Now this album has a sound similar to their debut. I would say it's almost as good as the debut, but really not quite there. But has some classics: "You're No Good," "Dancing That Away." It has the instrumental "Spanish Fly." It's kind of like a guitar solo that Eddie uses an acoustic guitar. And some of my favorite deep cuts are "DOA," really great heavy riff on that one, and "Outer Love Again," really great song. That's a really great deep cut that many people don't really talk about too much. And they've definitely a solid album start to finish. At number 2, I have "Love Drive" by the Scorpions, and probably one of their best albums. So it starts with a melodic rock of "Loving You Sunday Morning," then "Another Piece of Meat," that has a more of a heavier song. They have an instrumental called "Coast to Coast." The Scorpions don't do many instrumentals, but this is a really good one, And "Can't Get Enough," really heavy song, more of like those faster paced song. "Is There Anybody There?" That's one of the songs that does that like reggae sound. They kind of did that on the new album again. I forgot the exact name of the song, but it has that reggae sound. And the last 2 songs are 2 classics. So we have "Love Drive" and the ballad "Holiday." So definitely a great album. My number 1, you can see it right behind me, "Highway to Hell" by AC/DC. Last album with Bon Scott, and one of the best albums. So the title track, very iconic. Followed by "Girls Got Rhythm." That song has just lots of energy. "Walk All Over You," another great one. Really great chorus in that one. "Touch Too Much," really great like chugging riff in the intro. The whole album is solid. Even the album closer, "Night Prowler," one of those like bluesy, like slower types of songs. But "Highway to Hell" is just a really awesome album. Maybe one of the best AC/DC albums that were ever released. So that is all. Let me know in the comments if there are any other albums from this year, anything worth mentioning. I will do maybe one more video this week, and then when the weekend comes, I will be doing some new releases. Stick around for that. And in the meantime, please remember, like, comment, subscribe. Check out some of the other videos I have here, and I'll see you in the next one.